Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, not what I'm about, have your f***ing cloud, it be raining now. I keep making sound, go another round, I'm legend bound, can't stop me now.
You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Unscripted. Before I get started, Frankie, I know you're watching the game. Who was the lady that threw out the first pitch?
I don't know. I'm currently still looking at the lady throwing out the first pitch, but good Lord, do they have some good-looking women over there?
Hey, I'm just saying, and I literally was like, wow.
Send me to Houston right now, and everybody knows I'm a huge Houston hater, but after seeing her, Jay, I'm going to take your word for it. Houston got some goddamn good-looking women.
Yes, Houston has a lot of good – well, Texas in general has good-looking women. That's what we're known for. Us in California, and I think maybe down there in Florida if you get past the grandma and the grandpas. But
yeah, not here in New York. And here in New York, you get nothing but hood rat women.
Hey, man, but – welcome, everybody, to the show. It's episode 327. As you know, it's going to be a fun experience today. Baseball just started. And, let me go ahead and throw this up there real quick. Check us out, man. Check us out on Twitter at Unscripted Guys, all one word, and TikTok at Unscripted Sports, all one word. And also check us out on Google Play app at ASAP Network or Apple iTunes at ASAP Network, or Roku has it on there, the app on there, as well as we're affiliated with BetUS now, or BetUs now. So check us out in all those locations. And again, man, hey, don't forget, this Saturday and Sunday, we will be doing a watch along with Gonzo and them. Me, Frankie, the whole gang, Logan, everybody, Pride, whoever else will get on. We're going to do a WrestleMania watch along, so make sure you tune in for that. It's at 7:30. We'll be doing it Saturday and Sunday, and it will be an amazing weekend of WrestleMania. And I know Frankie's geared up for it. I know Frankie can't wait. So, yeah, take that for what it is. But, yeah, man, let's go ahead and get this bad boy started, man.
Oh, wow.
Man,
hey, Roger Clemens is there.
You know, Roger's from here. He's from Texas. But he actually played junior college ball at San Jacinto Junior College out there in Houston before he went on to the majors and made it big. So him and Andy Pettit, you know, those are Texas guys, man. People don't understand that. They're Texas guys. So, yeah, it's good to see old Roger hanging out on ESPN talking some Stros, man. It's good to see him. Frankie, geez Louise, man. Ohtani just signed he's going to make $65 million this year. In 2023, $65 million, more than any other baseball player on the planet. He's getting $30 million from his contract. He's getting $35 million from his endorsements, and it puts him over Verlander, Trout, Scherzer, Judge. I mean, he's just beating everybody on this money. As a matter of fact, when you look at Judge and when you look at Scherzer and them, they're down in the low teens, if not below the teens, and some of them are even in single-digit million endorsement dollars. But this man's making $35 million just in endorsements, Frankie. How crazy is that?
I mean, it's insane. It really is. It's truly insane. But when you look at it, we're talking about the great pitcher in Shohei Ohtani, one of the greatest Japan pitchers to ever pitch the game today. The man is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, yes, he's with the Los Angeles Angels, and I was about to say Lakers for a second. Yeah,
No, I'm about to say.
he's with the LA Angels, and we all know how bad the LA Angels, turn out to be last year, the year before that, anything like that. Even having the additions of Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani, but Shohei Ohtani, he can't do it all himself, Jay. I mean, the man is trying all he can for the Angels to be successful, but that's just one man. And you and I both know it's just you can't have just one man show out to be successful in a franchise. So him making that much money just goes to show that he's worth making that much money for doing what the man is doing in baseball today. The man literally just came out and won a WBC championship with the Team Japan, beating Team USA. So he's got bragging rights over basically everybody that's in the MLB, who's American. And truthfully, he's got definitely bragging rights against his own partner over there in center field and Mike Trout, because that's the last man he struck out to actually win the game when we were down by one. But it's really it's really gladly and I'm really excited that Shohei Ohtani is getting something to make him happy. If it's not a ring because of the Angels and how bad they are, well, guess what? He's getting happy by having a big checkbook in his pocket.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And to continue with how crazy, economically Otani is going to be. There's actually rumors and articles out where he's leaning towards possibly signing with the Dodgers next year. Frankie, Mike Trout made $426 million on a 12-year deal of baseball. That was the richest, or that is currently the richest contract in baseball. The richest contract for an athlete, period, is still Pat Mahomes at the 10 years, $500 million. Now, it has not said the number of years, but it does say that Ohtani is planning, or should be planning, most likely would be planning to get the $600 million contract, which would make him the highest paid athlete in North American continent of sports. I mean, the other guy you might find higher than that, you probably have to go to soccer somewhere over in Europe or something. But currently in the three basic American sports, if he signs that $600 million deal like they're projecting him to do with the Dodgers, that will make him the richest athlete. I mean, I can't even, that kind of money is mind-boggling, Frankie.
Yeah, that's really insane. I mean, like I said again, the man, he's worth the money. Even for $600 million, he's worth it, Jay. I mean, the man is literally a Patrick Mahomes, but in baseball, he's a pitcher, and not only is he a pitcher, he's an outstanding hitter as well. The man can get you nice home runs. He can get good on base percentages. He's got a good whip when he's on the mound. He has a good ERA. He's worth it. And the thing I like about it is, and then it's really sad to hear that he might go to the Dodgers, because realistically, we all will like to have a Shohei Ohtani on our team, no
Oh,
doubt about it.
absolutely.
But for him to go to the Dodgers, it actually works in his favor because, correct me if I'm wrong, LA is a tax-free state. And if LA is truly a tax-free state, the man is literally getting every single ounce of pennies in that contract.
I don't think LA is tax free.
All right,
I
so
think
if it's
it's
not tax free, that helps a little bit. If he was going to a state that's tax free, kind of like a Houston or somewhere in Florida, somewhere that's tax free.
no. I think what you're talking about is state tax. Like everybody has to pay federal. You can't get around federal.
State tax.
But
That's what I mean, state tax.
Yeah.
State.
I don't know if California is state tax free. I'd have to Google that and really do some research. I know Texas is, and I know a couple of states are. I don't think California is. I think in California, I think you're still paying state and federal. It's pretty expensive to live out in California. You're going to do much better on the Texas economy with that kind of money. Oh my Lord, you're going to live like a king no matter where you are. But still,
yeah. If he was to go to like a state tax-free state like Houston or anywhere in Texas, you could go to the Rangers, you could go to Houston, you could go to some teams in Miami, like Miami Marlins or the Tampa Bay Rays. You go to any of those teams and you get $600 million, man, you're cashing the bank. You're basically baseball might as well go bankrupt if they're giving all that money to Shohei Ohtani. That's insane. But he's worth the money, Jay. He really is. The man is outstanding. He's still
Yeah.
young. He's so young, Jay, that he hasn't even hit his prime yet. Like we all sit here and we say, Shohei Ohtani is great, and some people say he's already in his prime. You could agree with me or you could disagree with me. I feel like Shohei Ohtani isn't even in his prime yet. The man's been in the league, I think,
he's not in it. No,
years.
he's not in his prime yet. He's not. He hasn't hit that yet.
He's been.
He won't hit that. He won't hit that prime for about another 3 to 4 years.
Yeah. So like the man, like literally, like. But the thing that scares me is if a team goes out and pays that amount of money for Shohei Ohtani, and please, baby Jesus, I don't say the pounds and ounces anymore because Jay corrects me every time. I've watched Step Brothers so much that I keep forgetting, and it's just I just stop now. But please, baby Jesus, if he gets that amount of money, please do not curse this man, because we've seen in the past players that gets big amount contract monies and they end up getting hurt. Somebody gets Tommy John. Somebody gets a hurt in the leg or something like that. I don't want this to happen to Shohei Ohtani because, like I said, this man is just outstanding.
Wow, they got Mark Wahlberg.
Wow,
in
that's
Houston.
disrespectful. That's disrespectful.
That is just a little bit. I don't know. He's got the decent gear on. So I don't know.
Yeah, but Mark Wahlberg, he's a Boston native fan.
Oh, he's a Boston guy.
Yeah,
there's no doubt about it. He's a Boston guy.
It's really funny that he's not at Boston. He wasn't at the Boston Red Sox game, but instead he's here watching the defending champion Houston Astros in Houston.
Yeah, they had Mark come out and say, "Do the play ball."
And Jay, he also just said, and I want to give a shout out to your boy Alex Bregman. Happy birthday to the defending champion Alex Bregman.
That's props to. Hey, look, I got props from Mark Wahlberg. I know he's a Boston guy, but it's good that he came out and paid some respects to the champions. I appreciate that.
Sometimes you got to put your fandom aside, Like there's times, Jay, where you hear me, we go at it all the time, Jay, me and you. But sometimes we put our fandom aside. Today you were rooting for the Yankees to win. Right now, I wished you good luck on your game, and I hope.
I appreciate it, man, because
tonight.
No, I appreciate that because tonight is going to be a pitching duel. You got Valdez out there who was 5th in Cy Young voting last year, and then you got Dylan. I think his first name is Dylan. You got Cease out there that was voted in the top 10 aces in the league. So I don't know if I agree with the top 10 aces, but I do know that man, he is legit. Like he's got like a 2.20 ERA from last year. I think he had like a 1.16 WHIP. I think he had close to like 200 strikes. I mean, the guy is like a legit pitcher. So what I'm saying by that is tonight, man, we got a really good defensive game. I see coming out. So it's going to be a really, really good game to start off opening day.
And we're gonna keep you guys for those of you who are watching. We're gonna keep you guys up on the Astros and Chicago White Sox game because we know everybody don't get the channel much. You should get the game because it's on ESPN right now. But if
it's
you're
on
not watching
ESPN,
the game, we'll keep you guys updated. As of right now, the White Sox already got a first out. And Jay, before we go on to our first segment, I told you before we started the show, and I want to say it to you live in front of everybody, the Astros got some pretty good looking jerseys today. The white and gold. They got a nice jersey going on, nice hat going on, looking a little
yeah,
over there.
I didn't know what to think about the gold accent, and the numbers and then the bill, but the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm warming up to it, the more I'm liking it. It takes me a minute when they do change like that. It takes me a minute to really warm up to it. But I like it. Hey, look, I just hope it keeps bringing us good luck. Just bring us good luck. I'm very superstitious, Frankie, and I don't like a whole lot of change. But
I get it. I get it.
We'll see how it goes, man. Hey, let's talk about Bronny just for a second. This guy just signed, or he's just got an NIL deal for $7.2 million. He did a hell of a good job out there at McDonald Classic. I think he put up like 15 points. I forgot the rebounds and stuff like that, but I know he got a little over 15 points. I mean, he had probably one of the best games out there. He's a good guy, man. 6'3" combo guard. I think he's the number 33rd overall player in 247 sports composition rankings. So, I mean, right now it's looking like Ohio, Oregon, or USC are in his favorites as colleges to attend. But they were saying that if he continues to move up in the rankings and draft possibilities, that it could make it extremely hard for LeBron to actually be able to go over there and play with his son. What do you think about all that craziness?
Yeah, I think Bronny had an amazing McDonald show on the other night, and he also had an outstanding dunk contest as well over there. The man is obviously following in the footsteps of his father, which is great to see. We want to see the future of this league be in good hands, and I feel like him being the son of one of the great basketball players in LeBron James, one of the greats. Don't get me wrong, everybody. I said one of the greats, not the great, but one of the greats.
Yeah.
To come in the league and have your father as that person, that a lot is on your shoulder, and everybody's gonna look at you as some type of way. I believe that should have been an out, but I guess he was safe. And
Yeah, I
I
was
believe,
noticing that too. I was like, what the heck?
but him being Bronny and having
I
this
got it.
deal it's just outstanding. It's incredible. I mean, I hope he's not getting it just because he's the son of LeBron James. I want people to look at him as Bronny James. Don't just look at him and be like, well, this is the son of LeBron. This is expected of him. No, this is Bronny James, the one and only Bronny James. He's making a name for himself. He has the James name, but he's making his own name and he's trying to build something for himself. So it's really good to see that he's got that much money on the NIL deal. But like I said, I hope that they're not giving him this much just because his father's LeBron James.
You know what's interesting to me, Frankie, is there's also what's the youngest one's name? Is it Bryce?
Yeah,
So, Bryce isn't that far behind Bronny, and they're saying that Bryce should be better than Bronny. So at some point you gotta imagine, even if LeBron, doesn't get to play in the same team as his son, at some point Bryce and Bronny will be in the league together. Even if it's not on the same team, they're gonna be in the league together. I mean, this James legacy is gonna be out there for quite some time now.
yeah, it's gonna. Like I said, the future of the NBA is gonna be great. I mean, we're talking about LeBron James's kid coming in, both of them in the future. We're talking about Carmelo Anthony's son coming in soon because he's
Oh
the same
yeah.
age.
Oh my
He's the
Lord.
he's the same age as Bronny. He's literally the same age. They fought. They not fought, but they went up head to head against each other one time during their high school battles, and it's amazing, man. I can't. It's just fantastic. But to see on your point of view, I I always think that the younger brother does have a little bit more talent than the older brother. I mean, just because you wanna be looked at differently, right? You wanna go out there and show the world that whatever your brother can do, you can do better. I have an older brother, right? I'm the second in my family. I have an older brother and I have two younger sisters. So when I look at my brother, I look at the things he does in life, and then I sit there and I say, well, what can I do to be better than what my brother's done? I don't want to be better than my brother to rub it in his face and stomp on his toes or anything like that. No, I just want to look at it and say, what can I do better than what my brother did, so that way I could be looked at differently. And I feel like that's what's going to happen when Bronny's brother comes in, Bryce. I feel like they're going to have a battle and out. We've seen a lot of brothers. I feel like the only brother that's younger than the older one that isn't better is Steph and Seth. Seth is nowhere near close to being better than Steph,
Oh wow.
obviously.
Yeah, those dudes are light years
Obviously.
apart.
But when you look at Lonzo and LaMelo, obviously LaMelo is showing that he's got a little bit of good game compared to Lonzo. For one, Lonzo can't stay healthy. But two, when they go head to head, LaMelo looks like he's a little bit better than Lonzo when they go head to head. And I've seen a couple of
Yeah.
games back in the past. So, I mean, you want to have that momentum going in. I feel like that's what Bryce is going to try and do, because he's already hearing the world right now saying, well, you're better than your brother. Don't get that into your head, Bryce. Do not get that into your head, because if you're going to get that into your head too much, then when the time comes in the NBA, when you guys do face each other, Bronny's already got it known that the world is already saying that he or that you're better than him. So he's going to come out and try and be more aggressive against you in the court. Don't keep that in your head. You always want to, what my brother's done, I want to do better.
No, absolutely. And I think that's the way all the brothers look at it. They all want their own identities. They all want to carve their own niche. And so I think that just goes for everybody. I don't think anybody wants to be the same as the other one or consider to be the same as the other one. Turn our attention over real quick to the minor leagues. There's been some history there, man. For years now, the minor leagues have been, in terms of pay, housing, food, it's always just been second nature, right? I mean, like they just haven't had very well. You hear about all these stories about players living out of their cars and just the deplorable conditions in the minors and how hard it is to get to the majors, just dealing with the living conditions. Well, now they had their first CBA agreement, the minor leagues do, with Major League Baseball, and it's because they decided to get unionized. And I'll tell you, man, the thing, it's great. If you look at the pay scale now it still has a ways to go. This CBA that they're on right now is going to be good for 5 years, but I would not be surprised if down the road they go back and revitalize this even more as inflation and whatnot goes up. But right now they got AAA going from 17,500 to 35,800. Double A goes from 13,800 to 30,250. High A ball goes from 11,000 to 27,300. And then low A ball goes from 11,000 to 26,200. And then I never even heard, they got this thing called a complex league, which I guess is the very, 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 very beginning of the process. But the complex league is going from 4,800 to 19,800. Now, again, these are, I hate to say it, there's still kind of poverty to maybe almost lower, upper, whatever you want to call it. But it's still obviously lower class to poverty. So they still got more work to do. But the fact that they actually moved the needle and moved the pay at some kind of degree, and this has been over 100 years in the making, that's a first step, Frankie. What do you think, man?
Oh, my bad. I think it's really good. We've been saying it for years now that something needs to happen with the minor leagues because they're out there playing, but nothing's getting done for them. They're not getting paid good contracts and stuff like that. They're basically just going out there and playing baseball, kind of like what we would do on the streets. Get a bunch of friends and let's just go out on the streets and play some baseball. That's basically what it was looking like in the minor leagues, basically until somebody got called up. And I feel like they've been getting mistreated a lot, and we're slowly looking at a different change in the minor leagues, and we're seeing a change for the better, not for the worse. I think it's really a really good step into the minor league system.
Yeah, it is, and I think as we go along, hopefully there'll be more and more increases in that pay and then the amenities and things like that. But again, this took 100 years even to get to this point. But now that they're actually a part of the CBA, hopefully that will continue to go in a direction that is going to be favorable for them. Next up is NFL to allow multiple Thursday games. Blue, stop opening up the refrigerator. Thing. Hey, hold on 1 second, Frank.
He wants to. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. His boy Blue. If you guys don't know, Blue's his dog. His boy Blue is kind of like an animal Jay. So when you hear Jay telling him to stop opening the fridge, he's either trying to go get Daddy Jay a beer, or he's trying to tell Jay, "Hey, come get me a beer and put it in my bowl."
Bro, the problem is my animals are too damn smart. Let me give you a point real quick, side topic, but let me just real fast. Me and Mel come home from church last night. We open up the door. The refrigerator is open. An entire thing of hot dog wieners is gone. And the cat turned on the TV.
Oh my God! I hope nothing in your fridge.
Hey, you can't make this up.
Your fridge got spoiled, man. I hope nothing in your fridge got spoiled.
No, it's good. It's good. Thank God everything was fine. But I told Melanie's like, we were watching TV last night, and she's like, yo, look at Blue. He's over there opening up the refrigerator. I said, yeah, I guess he got hungry. I'm like, what the hell? Anyway, man, hey, that's life in Jay. But no, look, they're talking about right now. I think it's an optional double or extra Thursday night games, but they're talking about trying to flex it now. Everybody in football is complaining about it, and nobody likes it. They're all talking about injuries are going to go up, which I believe that. If they continue to do lots of short games like that, that's just going to lead to more injuries. I don't see how that would, in any way, shape, or form, be good for the game of football.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. We talked about it a couple of days ago on the afternoon show, and I also said that I don't think that this is the best thing to happen in football. I mean, not only does a lot of injuries occur or will occur, but it also, it's a possibility to ruin, not your strength of schedule, but ruin your chances of potentially getting into playoffs. I mean, your boys are going to be too extra tired. They don't feel like they're going to want to play. Even the coaches don't like this thing being called with the extra Thursday night games and stuff like that. I feel like they should just keep it the way it is. And I know the reason why they're doing it is because they had good numbers last year with the Amazon Prime stuff and everything like that, and them not having good games. But I don't think that they should keep doing this. I think they should go back to the way it was, and hopefully, you know, players stay healthy.
Yeah, I mean, I get using a Thursday game if a Sunday game was to get postponed or whatever the case may be. You can always flex it to a Thursday. I see that being a viable option. But to just put Thursday games in there, I don't like that short turnaround like we were talking about, because I just think it leads to too many chances for injury. I just don't. Me personally, I don't like. And if you ask a football player, they don't like it either. Um, but speaking of football players, let's talk about OBJ real quick. Multiple offers they're saying have come in for OBJ's services. The Jets are clearly the favorites. The Ravens are also making a push, and it looks like 8 million guaranteed is what it'll be, and then 10 million with incentives. That's what I think that's what the Jets are offering, and the Jets are right at 9.9 million in cap, so that's really all they could offer due to Aaron Rodgers' $31 million cap or something like that. So they had 9.9 to deal with, and so they wanted, I think they're offering him 8. If he takes that, I think the Jets would be a good spot for him. I mean, what do you think about OBJ?
I mean, what much can I say that I haven't said already? I mean, the OBJ, I feel like can still perform at a really high level. The one thing that you have to keep in your mind and be concerned about is how long can the man stay on the field for you for, or how long is he going to last in the season for you? Because we all have known that the last basically 4, maybe almost 5 years now, OBJ hasn't been consistent enough to stay healthy. Um, I mean, I'm hoping that and I'm praying that the guy can come in the league and perform at a high caliber level. Please, 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 OBJ, don't take that contract with the Jets. I mean, you don't want to embarrass yourself even more by just going to that team. I understand they're trying to get Aaron Rodgers, but that deal is not done yet. If I was OBJ, I will wait until that deal is confirmed. I will wait until I know 100% that Aaron Rodgers is going to be wearing a Jets uniform next year. If anything, if I'm OBJ, at this very moment, if I really wanted to, I would go with the Baltimore Ravens. One, we feel that Lamar Jackson is probably not going to go anywhere. Nobody's going to try and trade for Lamar right now at the high level that or the high money price that he's asking for. Nobody's going to
Oh,
take the time.
absolutely.
Nobody's going to take the time to try and trade for this guy. He's going to be asking for too much, and Baltimore's going to be trying to take too much. So I feel like he's going to have another season in Baltimore. The one question with him is he going to play? And if he does play, is he going to play the way he normally plays? I think he will because you want to be seen by other teams that you still got it and you can play at a good level for them in the future if they want you. But if I'm OBJ, just go to Baltimore, show what you got, play with Lamar Jackson for a little bit, show people around the world and the league that you can still play at a high caliber level. Take the 1 year deal, so that way when you decide that you're not ready to hang it up yet and you want to go another year or something, maybe a team will go out and sign you for a 2 year deal or a 3 year deal,
Right.
and you get more money. I feel like that would be the best way to see it. I mean, I could see him go to the Jets, but realistically, Jake, like, come on, the Jets already got so many people. They got freaking Alan Lazar. They got is it Gilbert Wilson or Gillett Wilson or something like that.
Yeah.
They had that running back that was hurt, but he's coming back this year. They have so many weapons on that offense and defense where they don't need OBJ to go in there. If OBJ ends up being a New York Jet, I swear to God, Aaron Rodgers better go back on ESPN and apologize to this lady that because it's insane. Like there's basically a list of names that he
Yeah.
said. OBJ was on that list, and they already got basically like 2 people out of that list. But I would like to see
Yeah,
OBJ go
absolutely.
to the Ravens.
I think he's going to be good no matter where he goes. In terms of being as long as he can stay healthy, he'll be a contributing factor either for Aaron or for Lamar. Honestly, at that point, can he be an every down player? No. I don't know if his body can handle that. I think you give OBJ, maybe 30 to 40% of the snaps at best. I don't know if you want to go more than that because I just don't know if at least not the first year. Let him. Let him get back reacclimated. I think that's going to be too much if you go beyond that. But we'll see what happens. Real quick, man. Aaron Judge. Let's talk about Aaron Judge for a minute. Let's talk about your boy. He got the first home run of the season, and on the first opening at bat, I believe it was. Am I right, Frankie? Oh, Frankie, he said he'd be right back. But no, if you watched Aaron Judge today, he did. He got the first home run. And it was incredible, man. I don't know how many home runs it's going to lead to him in this season. When Frankie comes back, that's definitely a question I want to ask him is, and again, in the comments, let me know what you guys think. How many home runs do you think Aaron Judge gets this year? I mean, it's got to be incredible. He said 3 strikeouts from Cease, baby. Rob Scott, I know, man. Hey, I knew Cease is going to be a hard one. Cease is not going to be easy. He's got a 2.20 ERA from last season, and so he has a very low whip count. But again, it's a long game, so let's not get too crazy. But you are off to a good start defensively. Baseball has been pretty good. Yeah, baseball has been pretty good today, honestly. He said, all rise. That's right, man. Listen, you got to rise for Aaron Judge, baby.
All right.
Hey, listen. So the question I was just asking him, so clearly first at bat, Aaron Judge gets a home run. By the way, your boy Glaber got another great home run as well. So I don't want to leave him out in the wind. But first, I believe it was the first at bat. Am I right? Aaron Judge, the first one up, knocks it out the park.
No, it was his first at bat. He wasn't first to bat. It was DJ Mayhew that was first to bat.
That's right. Okay.
But it was his first at bat, 2 pitches in, and at the very second pitch, knocked it right out of the park center field.
Yeah, it was just incredible, man. So my question to you is: he's already got his first home run in the books for this year. Man, do you think we could see another, 61, 62, or maybe even more home runs out of Aaron this year?
I do. Well, it was really hard for him last year to get to that 63 or 62 home runs. I don't want him to have that home run honestly in his head. You already got it last year. You're already known as the AL king of home run hitting. I feel like this year he'll probably get to the 50 mark, like Rob said, right? Rob Scott said, 55 home runs this year, and I can see that happening. Honestly, I can honestly see Aaron Judge getting to around 50 plus home runs. But even though I don't want him, Jay, to worry about having that home run, in his head. I want him to worry about right now winning a World Series. I understand it's game 1. We have like literally 161 games left in the season after today because we got 162 games a year. So we got 161 games left. All we have to worry about is winning a World Series. He's already got the home run in his pocket from last year. He don't need to prove it anymore until maybe hopefully somebody can break his record. But I really highly doubt that we'll see somebody within the next couple of years or so reach that level. It took us how long for us to see Aaron Judge do what he's done. Like Scott said, I can see him get up to 50 home runs, but I don't really care for Aaron Judge right now on home runs. What I really care about right now is Aaron Judge, being a captain that he is right now, because he is our captain now, being the first captain since Derek Jeter. I do expect him and I do want him to have everybody's mindset and focused on winning a World Series because it's been so long that we have not won a World Series. And I feel like, we had our toe literally on the sand. We had our toe on the sand but we weren't able to get our feet in the water.
And that's a good point. And that's a good point. And Anthony Price is saying, and it's so premature, but I understand that people are already talking already that Aaron Judge is going to be the MVP. But before we start talking Aaron Judge MVP, let's see how the season unfolds, because you still got Ohtani out there that, I don't know what he's going to bring. You got Alvarez out there. I mean, there's a lot of really still good players that I think are going to give him a run for the money. I don't want to discount all the other guys out there, but again, Aaron Judge is Aaron Judge, so you never know. You never know.
I get why Anthony Price is saying that. Like normally because he is the defending MVP right now. He's the defending AL MVP, and normally when you're the defending AL MVP, the next following year you're going to be looked at as, oh, this guy's going to. Of
course.
It's the same thing with the Astros, Jay. They won the World Series last
year.
I
was just thinking that.
They came in this year being power ranked number 1 and being favorites literally out of the entire baseball community.
That's exactly what was just going through my mind. That same thought you were just saying. That's exactly because I was thinking the same thing. And I think that's just natural of us to do, right? It's just natural.
Yeah, it's how it is. But and we know once wait till we get to 10, maybe 15, even 20 games into the season. Once we get that deeper into the season, then we can start talking about it. Because right now, like I just said, the power rankings, you got the Astros at number 1. But if you really look at it, 20 games from now, the Astros, and I'm not trying to jinx you guys, Jay, but the Astros can be a little bit downhill 20 games from now, and their power rankings will go probably from 1 down to 6 or 7 or something like that.
Oh, that's how it was last year.
Yeah,
when we started out last year. I think we were in last place. I think we were 3 or 4 games back, and we were pretty down. And then they came back up.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna say you guys are gonna stay down there because the Astros can easily climb back up like they did last year, but it's just how it happens. This is a sport of baseball, and like Jay said, you can't give Aaron Judge that MVP just yet. Because you got Shohei Ohtani, is Mike Trout gonna have a turnaround season? Is somebody, Jeremy Pena? He was rookie MVP last year. Can he, now that he's in his full pro year, can he be nominated for an MVP? There's a lot of people out there that can win MVP.
When it comes to Aaron Judge, and Frank, this is my opinion, but I think when it comes to Aaron Judge, if I was, a Yankees guy, if I was a Yankees supporter or whatever, I think what I would want out of Aaron this year is to just focus on being a pure hitter.
Yes.
Worry about the metrics of on base percentage, RBIs, batting average. Work on your overall game and try to, because he's already got the most home runs in AL history. Why not try to get the Triple Crown? That would be, if I was Aaron Judge, I would be wanting to focus on my game, and I would like to lower my chase rate down even more, get better at not swinging at the low pitches and waiting for my pitch, and just work on my overall hitting game. Just worry about getting on base for the home run if that's applicable. That's why I think that's where he needs to focus on. And now that they got the shift done away with, it's going to make it easier for him just to get on base and make that contact.
Yeah, and not only that, I feel like not just the shift, Jay, but the pitching time clock as well. Pitchers are going to have to rush now to try and, deliver a strike or end up giving up a ball or something like that. I feel like pitchers now having to be quicker now on the mound, it helps out Aaron Judge a little bit instead of just standing there in the batting box just waiting for a pitch to be thrown.
Well, I tell you what, that Dylan Cease has got some movement on that ball, man. I'm watching that dude pitch, and it's just like, wow. I can see why he's considered top 10. The dude he's got a good arsenal, honestly, about him. He's already fanned, 3 or 4 Astros, and it's like the second inning. So, the Astros are going to have their work cut out for him tonight. He's at 29 pitches right now, though, in the second inning. So,
listen, he might have a good pitch, Jay. But realistically, this umpire sucks. 2 back-to-back pitches already out of the box, and he's calling strikes. This is unbelievable. 21 strikes out of 8 balls. Like, what?
Hey, you know what they say, man? Bring on the electronic umps. Let's just go on ahead and rip the Band-Aid off and bring them in. Real quick. Hey, I'll tell you what. Hey, who's struggling? Texas.
Oh, man.
Texas right now, I think it's actually they came back and won.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. My computer was out of date, man. Yeah, they were down 4-0 at the end of the third, and then
They
now
were
I
down
see they came back
5-0.
and won 11-7. Wow. Okay, rock on, good times. Shoot. Wow.
No,
Okay.
no, no, no. Listen, we give them the win. Congratulations on getting the win, Texas. But we're still gonna trash talk Jacob DeGrom. This is one of the
Oh
best
yeah.
pitchers. This is literally one of the
Hey,
best
he
pitchers
did,
in the league, and he gave up 5
bro.
runs, Jay. And it's just terrible. You can say the same thing for Nola
Bro.
for the Phillies because Nola came about in the 4th or 5th inning, and he also gave up 5 runs and had Texas come back to tie it up on them.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. So DeGrom went 3.2 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned runs, and 7 strikeouts, and he had a 73 pitch count with a 12.27 ERA on his debut.
Jesus.
But you know what? Hey, I will say in DeGrom's defense, he was battling that left side soreness coming out of spring training. So I don't know if that's still bothering him, keeping him from getting back into the groove. So I'm not going to write up DeGrom just yet, but I will tell you, in terms of debuts, this was not one of his best. And like you said, same thing for Nola, not one of his best either. So it is what it is. But man, hey, I tell you, who else? Oh, so Atlanta won today. I know. Logan is happy about that.
Yeah,
I think
Atlanta
that,
won. It was an insane one. I feel like Atlanta had that one in the bag since the beginning.
wow, that's craziness, man.
The
So you
one
guys are
team,
undefeated. Logan's undefeated on opening day. Wow,
you
what a
know who's
time
not
to
under,
be
you know
alive.
who's not undefeated? The Boston Red Sox.
Hey, man, yes. They got beat by the Orioles 10-9. I think you know what? I think you're right, man. I think that Orioles team. I think they're picking up where they left off last year. Honestly, so I'm kind of curious to see how the Orioles pan out this season, and that's your division too. So I'm kind of wondering if I don't look, I don't see them getting deep or anything like that, but I wonder how much of a spoiler they could play for Toronto or even for you guys, Frankie, because those teams come out of nowhere and they can just hit you real quick. I mean, who was it that did it to us last year that came out and did that to us? It wasn't, I think, was it Philly that did it to us? No, it wasn't Philly. It was a couple of teams that we struggled with that, we should. Oh, well, if you look at our own damn division, we struggled against the A's and we struggled against the Angels several times in the season. I don't know. It's just weird how sometimes people have your number. You know what I mean?
Especially the Angels. The Angels started off the season really good. Like we didn't expect the Angels to start the season off the way they did, and then they just
No, I did
they
not.
they literally went downhill from there.
And the
They went
Angels,
so
funny
they went
enough, the
so
Angels
far
play the
downhill, Jay.
Athletics.
They went so far downhill last year. They had to get rid of their manager and Joe.
It was Joe Madden, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe it was.
Pirates beat the Reds. Poor Gonzo, man. Hey, they got him 5-4. Got him by 1 run. Mets barely escaped the Marlins 5-3. And then the Twins beat the Royals 2-0. And Rangers over Phillies, Rays over Tigers 4-0. Cubs over the Brewers 4-0. Man, hey, Brewers are
Hey,
pretty good team.
Dansby Swanson had a really great debut
Wow.
as a Chicago Cub. I think he was 3 for 4, and
Yeah.
he was outstanding today. And you know what, I'm really happy for it because I've been saying it for a long time now as we got closer and closer to baseball. My surprise team and hot take was the Chicago Cubs having a turnaround season and making the playoffs, and I'm glad that they did what they did today because they went and showed me that they are truly going to make my hot take really good.
I mean, it is a hot take, but I mean, it's a good take because I mean, like you said, the Chicago Cubs. Look, they added players. It's not like they just sat there and didn't do anything in free agency. They put up some players in free agency. So I do expect to see a better version of the Cubs than what we saw last year. No doubt about it. I'm pretty sure Mike Hughes is expecting the same thing as well. But yeah, man. And then we got Rockies and Padres later on this evening. Angels and Athletics, whatever. And then we got Diamondbacks, Dodgers, and then Guardians and Mariners. And I would love to see a Guardians win tonight. If only it could happen. But yeah, man, let's get into the. Hey, we're gonna do about one or two topics tonight, and that slide presentation, then we'll go from there. Real quick, I want to talk about this Hall of Fame class of 2023. I got to be honest with you, it's a hell of a class. I mean, honestly, if you took Wade, Dirk, Gasol, Parker, Pop, and Hammond and put them in and had them do different draft classes and be the headliner and have other. I mean, they can headline other classes. That's how deep this. That's how amazing. I mean, either one of these guys can be the number one. I guess headlining draft pick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely know what you mean. But I feel like this draft class, the headliner is probably going to be most likely going to be Dwayne Wade.
I'm sure it will be. Although I got to be honest with you, I really was hoping Pop would get it, man. And I say that for a couple of reasons. I say that reason number one is he's the NBA career leader in coaching wins. I mean, not titles, because that belongs to Phil Jackson. But in coaching wins, that's Popovich. And I mean, when you look at that, plus the 5 championships, plus the fact that Hammond came off his coaching tree and she got her first title with the Aces, and she's also being inducted for coaching and playing. That's still directly related to Pop. So is Parker related to Pop. I mean, there's so much, that Pop has done for the game of basketball. Nothing to knock Wade on, because Wade's got 3 titles. He's got 06 finals, 13 All-Star appearances, Olympic gold. I mean, Wade's done incredible as well. But I think what Pop has done for the overall game of basketball, because you got to remember, he was also coaches on those USA teams as well. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, I can see Pop. I think Pop should get it. But I'm not mad if Wade gets it. I mean, hey, like I said, doesn't take it, anything away from Wade. And then you look at Dirk. I mean, come on, what has Dirk not done, right? I mean, he's got Finals MVP, got his title in 11, League MVP in 07. Number 6 on the scoring list at 31,550. I mean, number 6 on the scoring list. I mean, that's a pretty impressive feat.
And not only that, Jay, Dirk Nowitzki was actually the one to end. That should have been a foul ball. He's actually the one to end the Phil Jackson era in LA. Once the LA Lakers got swept by the Mavericks in 2011, Phil Jackson ended up retiring.
Yeah, no, Pop's not retired yet. He's still coaching, but he's getting put in the Hall of Fame. So it is what it is. And then you look at like somebody like Hammond, just amazing, 6-time All-Star, gets her first title, her first year of coaching. Yeah. I mean, number one, it looks good on her. Number two, it raises awareness for female sports. And number 3, I don't care what anybody says, it just makes Pop look that much better. The fact that she came up out of underneath. Now, granted, let's not overlook that the fact that the Aces had a really good lineup too. Okay, it's not like she took some scrubs to the WNBA finals. I mean, she had good players, but you still got to have that leader, right?
Yeah.
And then there's your boy Gasol, man. Kobe's buddy, godson to Kobe's children, or godfather to Kobe's children, man. 2 titles with the Lakers, 6-time All-Star, 2-time Olympic silver medalist with Spain. I mean, again, a phenomenal career. Played with other teams and did well. And then they just raised his jersey in the rafter at Staples, didn't they?
Yeah. They just a couple. I think last month they raised his jersey number right next to the great late Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, man. I mean, and that is extremely special in and of its own self. I don't know, Anthony. I mean, hey, when he steps down, hey, if they want to take on Becky Hammond, hey, she's got the tools. She's probably got the innovation. I mean, could you imagine that, Frankie? What if she became the first female head coach in the NBA?
So I wouldn't be mad. She'll deserve it, honestly. Look at the woman's career. Like Jay said, she won a title with the Aces. You came in, you learned under Greg Popovich with the Spurs, and now you're being a great head coach yourself. This woman deserves it. She's literally and like Rob Scott said, she's a beast on the court. She was a great player. Now she has one of the greatest mindsets as a coach as well, because she learned under one of the great coaches in Greg Popovich.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen. You cannot go wrong under Pop. I don't care who you are, man. Look, that guy's mind is amazing, and you can see from his coaching tree. A lot of people have done great things, and so kudos to her. And then, of course, last but not least, in this class is Parker. I didn't do it in numerical order. I'm just putting people out there, but you got Parker, 6-time All-Star, 4-time NBA champ, 2007 Finals MVP. Part of that three-headed monster with Ginobili and Duncan. Just incredible, man! Incredible basketball player himself. It's just
Yeah,
incredible.
yeah. I feel like Tony Parker is one of those people that don't get mentioned enough.
I
I
don't
just
think so
want
either.
I just want to take this time and say that Tony Parker is one of those players that honestly changed the game for point guards. The man was phenomenal. He can literally get the ball to Tim Duncan in tight coverage. He will find a wide open Manu Ginobili. He even played really well with Kawhi Leonard. Tony Parker was a phenomenal player for the Spurs, and everybody would just overlooks him and don't mention anything about what Tony Parker did. When you talk about the Spurs, they talk about Tim Duncan and Greg Popovich. Let's not forget that the point guard in the position is the number one guy. The point guard is the person that gets you the ball when need be. The point guard is the person that is a great shooter. That when nobody is open, he's going to take that shot and he's going to make sure you get some points on the board. That's what Tony Parker was on the Spurs. And for him to, get not mentioned a lot as one of the top point guards in the league is just mind blowing to me. I feel like he's definitely top 5, even top 10 worthy to be in one of the greatest point guards in the NBA. Just because I look at it and Tony Parker did change the landscape of some of these point guards in the league today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of it, though, Frankie, is, the Spurs were more conservative type team, not the flashy type team. Robinson and Ginobili, Duncan, Bruce Bowen, all those guys, the Spurs were just a fundamentally strong basketball team. They didn't have all the flair and things like that, like the John Morants or the Kobe Bryants or, what have you. But what they do have was a hard-nosed way of playing basketball, and that's what Pop was always about. And I think that's a lot of the reason why I think Parker was so under the radar is because he never got in trouble. He kept on the down low. He just played hard-nosed basketball, it's not the tweeting and all that kind of stuff out there that gets you all the attention. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think that's a lot of the reason why he kind of went unnoticed. And in a lot of ways, I think Duncan sometimes kind of went unnoticed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely know what you mean.
Well, what a time to be alive. Either way, man, congratulations to all of these individuals for their accomplishments. Again, it's got to be one of the strongest NBA classes to go in. I would love to be at that ceremony because there's not going to be a dull name that gets called out at that ceremony. I mean, all these guys, every last one of them has a championship. Every one of them. Pop, Hammond, Parker, Gasol, Dirk, Wade. I mean, all these guys, have all the criteria that you would look for in a Hall of Fame candidate. Not these guys that, they're on the bubble of getting in. We don't know. We're not. No, these are all legitimate people that should be in the Hall of Fame, and it's just a beautiful thing to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. And the one person that gets to mind is obviously Paul Gasol. And I tell this, I try to tell this to a lot of people. Kobe Bryant is my favorite Laker player of all time. No doubt about it. He's my favorite guy. But when I go out and I play basketball in the streets with my buddies and stuff like that, I get my moves and everything like that. I learned my moves from watching Pau Gasol when he was on the Lakers. The man was just he to me was an inspiration to big men, just like Dirk Nowitzki. I learned, Jay, when I was in high school, I used to do that spin around fadeaway shot that Dirk Nowitzki always used to do.
But you know where they got it from, Frankie? Who was the godfather of all that before that all came out? Who was the godfather of all those spin moves, fadeaways, baseline jumps? Who was the father of that?
Michael Jordan?
No.
Oh, you want to say for big men?
We're talking. We're not talking. I'm not talking guards and things like that. I'm talking about just big men. That was Elijah.
It's got to. Yeah, I was gonna say it's got to be like a Hakeem Olajuwon
Bro, did you see
Tracy
the fadeaway,
McGrady.
the fadeaway, the baseline fadeaway that Olajuwon was known for? I mean, the down, up, under, around, and then back to the basket. I mean, I'm just saying these. Everybody gets learned something from somebody, right? Kobe learned it from Michael. All these big men probably learned it back from when watching Olajuwon and David Robinsons and the Duncans and all that. These big men. You know, but yeah, man, it all goes back to them old days, man. And I think, because when I look at Shaq is a prototypical center, big guy, strong, gonna put the alley oop in. Not so much in the outside perimeter, but he's gonna guard the paint. Ain't nobody gonna go in there. That's why they got the hack of Shaq, because nobody can get around his big ass. And it's just true. And I think Olajuwon, it was more the hybrid center, right? He was a traditional center, but he also could go out he could go out beyond the paint, right? He could get out into the mid-range, shoot that mid-range jumper, the baseline, things like that. And I think that was the start of going away from the traditional center and more into like the Pau Gasols, Dirk Nowitzki's, things like that, right? I mean, but it all started from when Olajuwon started to break that mold, and then everybody else just, amped it up to other degrees. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Time
agree
to
with
be
you on
alive.
that.
Geez, now you got people like Joker out there just doing and just incredible stuff, and you got Embiid out there doing crazy stuff. And I'll throw obviously I throw Giannis. I mean, those are like the next big crop of big men that are still in that hybrid center position. You know what I mean? Even though I think they're more classified as forwards, whatever you want to, however you want to do that. What a time to be alive, man. All right, let's get this. We're going to do this topic, and then we're going to go to final thoughts. I'm going to say the last one for another day. Teams that should look to trade down in the first round. Just one team, Frankie. Just tell me one team that you feel like should trade down in the first round.
Like someone that's in the higher ups, right? That went to the playoffs, obviously.
I mean, it could be anybody. It could be Houston, Cardinals, Bears have already traded down. I mean, just whoever you think would be beneficial to trade down and get more out.
I think as I look at it, I feel like the one team that should probably trade down will be the Tennessee Titans. Because I feel like Tennessee hasn't produced well this offseason on getting top receivers or top weapons to help Ryan Tannehill and stuff like that. We've been hearing Derrick Henry's name get thrown out in the trade talk. So I wouldn't be surprised if that actually do go through. And if it does go through, best to believe that it's going to be for a first-round draft pick because Derrick Henry is a monster. I do like Anthony Price saying the Seahawks. I could see the Seahawks trading down too. But the one team that comes to mind when I think about it is the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a good pick. The Titans, that's a good pick. For me, I had the Cardinals. I had Arizona, I think, because the Cardinals, they're not in contention this year. Kyler Murray is going to be gone for the majority of this season. So they're going to be status quo bottom line until 2000 or late 23, early into 24 when Kyler is back and can get them back in contention. So right now, my thought process, look, if you're not in contention for this year, then you need to trade back and get as many picks as you can, stock up in this draft. So that way when Kyler comes back, you can put stuff around him. And I think getting the most picks would be the best way to do that. And so for that reason, they got 8 selections right now in the draft in 2023. Obviously, the one of them being the number 3 pick in the draft. I think, and let me reflect back, half of those 8 selections, so 4 picks, Arizona has in the top 96 overall. So the top 96 picks, they got 4 out of the 96, 3 being one of them. I think if you trade down out of that number 3 and try to get more picks, I think they can easily go from 8 picks in the 2023 draft to double-digit picks in the 2023 draft. Or you can even trade that out of the number 3 and trade for future 2024 picks to where you would have 8 picks this year, and then you probably have 10 to 12 picks next draft. And you could really do some amazing things with the Arizona Cardinals while you're waiting for Kyler Murray to get back and being healthy again. And again, there's only 3 quarterbacks in the draft that could probably start year one for a club. So I think that number 3 pick is extremely valuable, probably to the Colts, probably to maybe the Titans. I don't know if the Titans because they already have their quarterback. But any team that needs a quarterback, maybe the Falcons, somebody like that wants to get up to that number 3 spot to draft probably a Richardson or a Levis. That number 3 pick.
Can I run through something to your? Can I run something?
No, go ahead.
Real quick?
That was into my spiel.
So no. I like that pick, and I want to say something about Arizona right now. Like, they got the number 3 pick and stuff like that. Kyler Murray's out. What if they do draft a quarterback with the number 3 pick if they don't trade down, and then they do, get a quarterback, and that quarterback is so successful with the Arizona Cardinals? Hey, agree with me, or you could disagree with me. I wouldn't be surprised if Arizona goes ahead and trades away Kyler Murray the following year to try and get a higher draft pick as well.
Yeah, I can see that. I can say because hey, if he turns out to be like a Brock Purdy, come out of nowhere and just blowing it up, then it kind of does make Kyler Murray expendable. It makes him expendable for a couple of reasons. Number one, Kyler Murray's been still struggling with Arizona to really get them over the top. He's been struggling. Number 2, he's been injury prone. And when you got his injury prone and struggling, and some of the players are losing faith in him, it may be a good time to change. He needs to change the scenery, and so does Arizona. And a breath of fresh air, like I don't think Richardson would be the best. I still think Richardson has more polishing to do to get to be really there. But I think a Levis, he's got a strong arm. You're going to have to work on his mechanics a little bit, but. And again, maybe they go with Richardson. I don't know, but that either that Richardson or that Levis, maybe they do have that year. Maybe they just come out and just put it on the table and perform and could make Kyler Murray expendable.
And I just say that because like everything you say is absolutely true because he is injury prone and stuff like that. But let's not forget and let's not take away that there was problems within the organization of the Cardinals with the contract decisions with Kyler Murray. You remember he had to do this contract extension, then got told that he needed to be present for some of these video filings and stuff like that. Then that came out of his contract, decided to say that he doesn't need that and anything like that. There was really hot heat in the front office between general manager and Kyler Murray. So I feel like them having, but then again, they do have a new general manager this year. The old general manager stepped away. They have a new head coach. So they're running a new system in there. And that's what also gets to mind. Yeah, I'm saying that there was problems in that organization between Kyler Murray and the general manager. But now looking at it, they have a new one, a new GM, a new head coach. This team, looking to start brand new and start fresh. Been hearing trade rumors with DeAndre Hopkins. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if there was trade rumors next year. If they end up driving a quarterback and he plays great, there will be rumors for freaking for Kyler Murray as well. A team likes to start fresh, Jay. They really do. If they come to a team and an organization that's not been really successful, they're going to start from scratch and start fresh. And I feel like that's what's going to happen in Arizona sooner rather than later. Andrew Benintendi with the base hit. God, I miss him.
Yeah, that was the one I was really hoping the Astros would have. And the Astros were interested in Benintendi, and then but they wound up missing out on it. Now, I will tell you, Frankie, you could bust my balls on that one because, and rightfully so, because, man, Houston, I think, really missed the mark. I know they did that because they still feel like, and Brantley, but man, that Benintendi, man, woo.
And I'm not gonna bust your balls, Jay, because you know what? I'm right there with you. I'm literally right there with you. Before Benintendi signed that contract with the White Sox, he had the offer from the White Sox. Then he went back, talked to the Yankees, and he told them the offer that he got from the White Sox, asking the Yankees, can you guys match it, or at least do a little bit better? And the Yankees didn't want to do that, and that's what happened. That's what happened afterward. He ended up going back.
Do that, and then. Oh gosh, man!
If you really look at it, Jay, and I get upset at it all the time, but then again, I look at it as a fan point. Benintendi the last couple of years been hurt. Kansas City, he was
That's
hurt. New
true.
York
Well, that's
Yankees, he
true.
got hurt. You know,
Yeah.
the Yankees don't want to waste, you know, a 5-year deal, 70+ million, $80+ million on
Yeah, that's
someone who's
true.
gonna work. He's only gonna play like half the season or so because he's gonna end up getting hurt. So like, I understand their point on that. They went a little bit less with Andrew Benintendi, but obviously he went away and decided to go to a team to play for more money instead of actually staying on a team to try and win a championship. I mean, but then again, I get it because he's already a champion in his own rights with the Boston Red Sox. You know, beating the who was it? I think it was the Dodgers at the time.
Yeah, could the Vikings trade now?
They can.
Where the Vikings drafting at?
They can. The Vikings are drafted high in the 20s because they went to the playoffs and then lost to
That's
the.
right. That's right. That's right. I don't know if the Vikings really want to trade down any further than 20.
I mean,
I don't know what that would do for them.
exactly. The question would be, what would the Vikings have to give up? They really don't have nobody. A bunch of people in their defense left already. I mean, we've been told by Stat Guy, our MLB guru, actually our Stat Guy guru himself. He's a Minnesota Viking fan. He told us that Minnesota had one of the worst defense in the league last year. But then again,
Yeah.
you guys lost all that defensive people. I understand you guys are the worst defense in the league. It doesn't come down to your players being the worst. It comes down to your coaching or your defensive coordinator calling the wrong plays or whatever. So I feel like, you know, getting rid of all those players you had and not picking up top talent players on the defensive end, I don't see
Right.
anybody. I don't see anybody that you know they can give up. They're definitely not going to get rid of Justin Jefferson. He's a franchise wide receiver. You're not going to get rid of what's his dude's name, Kirk Cousins,
Right.
because Kirk Cousins has that connection with Justin Jefferson. I mean, as much as I troll talk Kirk Cousins, the man is obviously the best fit for Minnesota. But I just don't like him as a QB. I don't feel like he's that talented that everybody thinks he really is. But I
Oh,
guess
absolutely.
I
I think
guess
the
I'm
best thing
a
for the
little
Vikings
different.
to do is just stay put. Just stay put with what you got and continue to build where you are. Honestly, really, I mean,
Hey,
what their main thing is just
I'm
if I'm the
good.
Vikings, I'm just drafting straight defense, man. Honestly, I'm gonna say Leslie Frazier. I'm Leslie Frazier. I'm thinking old school Vikings. Brian Flores. What do you need on this defense to be successful? And then I'm gonna make sure Brian gets what he needs. So that way, the one thing that held me up last year won't hold me up again this year, or at least will make improvements over what it did last year by what he can get in the draft and/or free agency. You know what I mean? What a time to be alive. Let's get to some final thoughts so we can go watch these games, Frankie. What final thoughts you got for today?
Hold on, Mike. Hold on, Jay. Yeah. Not much, man. My final thoughts on tonight is basically, great start to opening day. I hope everybody enjoyed their opening day for baseball. Yankees are 1-0. Jay, I hope you end up being 0-1 at the end of the night. But good luck to your boys. I really don't got much. WrestleMania this week, and don't forget to catch us Saturday. We'll be live at 7:30 p.m. Getting ready to, throw down for WrestleMania night 1 and night 2 this Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, man. Yeah, it's a great time to be alive, man. But again, hey, real quick, I do want to throw out a couple of condolences. Again, one is for the family of those that lost their children in that school shooting in Nashville, and I also want to throw out our condolences for the military. Frankie, I don't know if you were tracking that, but they had two Black Hawk helicopters crash out there in I think it was 40 miles north of Tennessee. They were out of Fort Campbell, but they actually crashed out there in Kentucky. They were medevac helicopters. 9 people lost their lives in that. So again, for the families in the armed forces that lost their lives in that crash, man, my heart goes out to you. I fully feel the sadness of this moment, and I want to let you know you're in our prayers and you're in our thoughts, as well as the children and families of those in Nashville. And I'm pretty sure Frankie would say or is thinking the same thing as well. I don't know if you want to comment on that or what have you, but
No, I totally agree with what you said. Like I said, like you said, our thoughts and prayers go out to the families of those that lost their loved ones, especially those young kids, and the 3 teachers, including the janitor. It's just
yeah,
weird how the way this world is going today. and I didn't hear about those two Blackhawks. That's really insane. Um, I just want to say, throwing that Tennessee out there, the Tennessee incident out there. Earlier today, we had news around my area, where I used to live before I met my wife, Schenectady, New York. There was a person that went out online. I think it was Facebook or something like that, going out and threatening that they were going to go to the Schenectady High and start shooting again. So nothing happened. Police were to the scene of Schenectady High School quickly, and everybody was safe. So it just goes to show that this world is insane. And Jay, if something like that would have happened near my area, man, I would have been I would have been going crazy.
No, absolutely. I don't care what area it is. The fact that it happens, it's horrendous. It's horrible,
Hmm.
and it's just unnecessary. And again, this is not a political show, but I do want to encourage. I just want to encourage legislators to start putting funding in these school systems to bring on law enforcement in whatever capacity to secure these school buildings and keep these kids safe. Man, that's the only way we're going to defeat these shooters is if we increase our law enforcement around the schools, so that way we can get the shooter before he gets into the school. So I just can't tell you. I can't tell you enough. Legislators, we need to put money out there to support this, and I hope that's my hope is that these legislators will listen to that and they will put the money and the funding in the school systems, and then they can put law enforcement on ground at these schools, so that when we send our children to be educated, that they're going to come home alive and safe to us. That's all I got to
You
say
know,
on that.
well, you know what, Jay? Instead of them going out and paying the politics and stuff like that, we don't mind. If you want to send us money in cash app, we're gonna help. Do try and get to that level and do that. I mean, so go ahead and send me and Jay some money, and we'll send that to the politics, and we'll try and get something some type of petition sorted out and stuff like that. Jay, let's just take their money, Jay. But yeah, just go ahead and cash app us, and we'll try and change the world for you guys. If you guys want our Cash App account, just privately hit us up on our DMs, and we'll gladly give that to you. Now we're accepting anything with $20 or above. Okay, nothing below 20, just 20 and above to help speed the process up. We have to pay
And of
our
course,
dues, Jay.
and
Jay,
of,
we
and of
have to pay
course,
our dues.
and of course, all of these things that Frankie is saying has no reflection whatsoever on the views of that of ASAP or Unscripted as a whole. What a time to be alive, man. Check us out on Twitter, Unscripted Guys, all one word. Frankie does a really good job of keeping us up to date over there. And Logan does a good job on TikTok at Unscripted Sports, all one word. And we will catch you guys, like Frankie said a minute ago. There will not be a 1 o'clock show. We're going to save that, and we're going to hit it up at 7:30. There's going to be the start time for the watch along for WrestleMania on Saturday. So we will see you Saturday, 7:30 for WrestleMania. You guys have a good night. I'm Jay McLovin, my boy, my familia, Frankie, Foxborough Frankie, Frankie the Yankee,
No,
all
no,
those
no, no, no,
names.
no, 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 no. We're not doing that Foxborough today, baby. It's just
Oh, that's
Frankie the
right. No,
Yankee.
today we're straight a-hole Frankie the Yankee. And today he's my friend, but when we play him,
in
he'll
August.
be war.
In August. In August.